from future talks on its nuclear program. It said the move was a reaction to what it called a hostile US policy during six-nation talks in Beijing last week. Washington is refusing to give security guarantees to Pyongyang until the North dismantles its nuclear program. Beijing, which hosted last week's talks, held out hope for a diplomatic resolution to the row. Parliamentary leader Woo Bang-guo told officials in South Korea that Beijing had succeeded in persuading North Korea to continue dialogue in future. With Kim re-elected as the chairman of the National Defense Commission, it will be up to him to decide the direction of the North's nuclear policy and whether the standoff with Washington can be resolved peacefully.
Closer to home, and China has successfully tested a new fighter jet that it developed jointly with Pakistan. The JF-17 Thunder fighter aircraft took to the skies in Chengdu for an 8-minute trial run. It was carrying 2 imitation missiles under its wings. The manoeuvre came after Beijing announced plans to cut 200,000 troops as part of a drive to modernize its military.
China and the US agreed today the mainland currency, or yuan, should eventually float freely. The issue topped the agenda on the second day of talks between the American Treasury Secretary John Snow and Chinese officials in Beijing.
Well, I think we had good discussions and good, frank, open review of the issues, and that's a foundation for progress.
Snow said he's encouraged by Beijing's commitment towards greater flexibility for the yuan in the long run. He later met Premier Wen Jiabao, who made clear a stable yuan benefits both countries. In Hong Kong, the Rolling Stones and Santana are coming to town as part of a $130 million campaign to lure international tourists back into Hong Kong. Cecil Wong has more.
Not know it, but these cubs may represent one of the last chances of survival for the rare South China tiger. Fewer than 30 of these tigers are left in the wild, with about 60, such as this pair, kept in zoos across China. The London-based charity Save China's Tigers has flown these 6-month-old cubs to South Africa, where it's hoped they'll learn to hunt and breed in a rewilding experiment.
But as a symbol of the Chinese culture, we must do something before we give up. And without doing anything, just simply writing them off is not permissible.
The pair will undergo 2 weeks of medical tests before going back to nature at South Africa's Makopane Reserve. If all goes well, in about 5 years' time, they'll be returned to China to live in a nature reserve being planned by China's State Forestry Administration.
Well, the weather has taken centre stage here for the last couple of days, and for the latest, Janice Wong joins us now in the studio.
That's right. Well, Typhoon Dujuan